Welcome to a podcast from Beneath. In our final episode of our Found Footage February series, we'll be discussing the genre as a whole.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
It has been established that persons who have recently died have been returning to life and committing acts of murder. The unburied dead are coming back to life, seeking human victims.
I'm joined by Billy.
How's it going?
And Eric.
Afternoon.
Now, most everyone thinks that Blair Witch Project was the first found footage film, but I guess the first one probably would have been 1998's The Last Broadcast, and it was also the first all-digital film about a crew investigating the Jersey Devil, and they made that film for just $900. In our series this month, we came across another film that also claims to be the first, America's Deadliest Home Video, which came out in 1993. So, what was your favorite found footage film? And we'll
Afflicted.
Go ahead, Eric.
No, Afflicted. Across the board.
I figured you would have went with America's Deadliest Home Video since that was your pick.
Well, the
Yeah.
thing is, that
Your
movie
favorite.
cost a whole Danny Bonaducci, so...
What was your favorite, Billy?
Favorite found footage that
Yeah.
we've seen, that we saw?
No, just no.
In general?
Oh,
That's
that was
hard.
in general? I thought you meant like this month.
No, just, yeah, out of everything.
Oh,
You can change your
in
answer.
in my whole life, that's
Yeah.
probably a tie, maybe? I don't think Hardcore Henry counts as found footage, just first person, right?
I guess we could count it as that. I mean, it's the same style.
Then I'll just go with Cloverfield, because it was really awesome in theater.
Okay.
man. I don't know. It's hard. It's tough. Would you it's got to be either Record or Wreck, whatever you want to call it, or Cannibal Holocaust.
Cannibal Holocaust. Now I forgot about that one. I guess that one would have been the original found footage film, right?
That was made, what, like 1982 or something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah, I guess so.
What about
Man,
what about your least favorite?
America's
America's
said
Deadliest
Deadliest
Home
Home Video.
I almost said funniest home videos. Sorry, Tom Bergeron. Don't at me.
Hell House LLC was pretty bad too.
What was it worse than America's Deadliest Home Video?
No, I don't think so.
I think it's like on the same plane under two different reasons. Like Hell House is just kind of boring, whereas like Scary or like whatever Deadliest Video was just bad, but it was campy. So that kind of like goes down, but then it elevates itself with just the stupid shit.
Well, obviously my least favorite was also America's Deadliest Home Video. My favorite, I'm going to go with, and of course it was on my other list, The Blair Witch Project. Is my favorite found footage
Of
film.
course.
There's a Japanese one that was like made, I can't remember what it was called, like made in 95, 96. That was supposed to be like really good. I wish I knew I think it started with a K or something, I think. I wish I knew.
Well, hopefully it's just one. If there were three, that'd just be racist.
Yeah.
I can't remember, but it was supposed to be like really good. It's supposed to be like very scary. Like, I'm surprised like America hasn't tried to remake it, or maybe they have, just used a different name. Who knows?
They called it the Blair Witch Project now.
Yeah.
Yes, the Blair Witch Project.
Now, just like all the other, I guess, horror genres, this genre also went to space.
Oh, dude, I saw Apollo 18. Like, I'm a huge NASA nerd. It's like really cool, but like that movie was trash.
Oh, I remember
I
that,
watched
yeah.
it once. I remember I didn't like it.
It was basically, well, okay, there's 17 Apollo missions, and like the shtick was that the Apollo 18 was canned because something happened in space. Like something happened to the astronauts on the moon, so like it was just covered up completely. But it was a really good idea in the fact that they could not stop rolling. Like the cameras they had on their chest always took footage, like no matter what. So I was like, okay, fine, it's a good thing. But they never explained how the footage made its way back to Earth.
It was just
Did
delivered
it,
by mail.
I must not even finish that movie because I don't remember. Like I said, I mean, it was. I don't even want. Like I'm pretty sure I watched it when it first came out on, VOD or whatever. I don't even remember what it was that happened.
It
That
was
killed the
like
crew or whatever.
it was like an infectious alien thing. Oh, excuse me. And like yeah, they even found some like dead Russian astronauts on the moon and stuff, implying that they had got to the moon first all along, but they didn't make it because of that. LOL
Uh,
communism.
have y'all seen there's a documentary, or not documentary, the documentary that I saw like years and years ago. It's called Man Bites Dog. Have y'all ever heard of it?
No.
Oh, they're gonna say man, bear, pig.
Man, Bear Pig. This guy's like, I can't remember. It's like a French film. I don't know why they're following this guy, but this guy's like a real scumbag. Like, pretty sure he like kills people, and he'll like there's this one scene where he like goes to this like really old lady's apartment or house or whatever, and he was saying like right before they went there, he's like, like these real old people, all you have to do is like scare them, like scare them, and their heart will stop or something like that, or do something very crazy and make their heart stop. Well, he's went to this old lady's house, and like he just like gets up and like screams in her face, and the woman ends up like convulsion, like has a fucking heart attack, and he ends up like stealing everything she's got.
And that was the whole movie?
No, that was just one thing. It was just like him killing, but that's what he did like to old people. Like he knew they had weak hearts. He'd like scare the shit out of them, and they end up like dying. He ends up like just robbing them. He kills a lot of people. It's called
So
Man
he
Bites
was
Dog.
filming it. He was like filming everything.
No, somebody was following him. I can't remember like why they were following him or not. I can't remember. Yeah, it's about a snuff film crew that follows around a serial killer.
Oh,
It's called Man
Wow.
Bites Dog. It was made in 1992.
I
because
knew
you know,
that was before America's Deadliest Home Video then. So maybe that was
it
the
was,
first.
First American, or no, it's not American. It was French.
but that's why nobody paid attention.
Yeah. All right, so from all the found footage films you've seen, which movie had the best reason for the characters to continue filming?
That's a good question. Probably Wreck.
No, I think I've only seen the remake. Is the remake of that one was the one with
The girl from Dexter.
Jennifer Carpenter. I think that's the only one I've seen.
Quarantine.
Yeah, Quarantine.
Oh
I've only seen
Quarantine.
that.
That's what I was trying to think of. Yeah.
Wreck's good. The second one's good. There was. Did I see? Yeah, I saw the third one. Didn't see the fourth one.
He just
So
keeps
the-
going.
Well, the
Yeah,
third
so,
one didn't. Like the two there were two directors that did the first two, and then they decided to like one of them direct the third one and one of them direct the fourth one. Well, the one who directed the third one did like just completely just got rid of the found footage or camera thing, so it was just a regular movie. I think the fourth one was using cameras or something like that.
All right, so I know
So it's
like
all-
in
Good.
Quarantine, she was a reporter. Is that how it was in Wreck? She was
Yeah.
a reporter, like traveling or going spend the night with like a fire, like in a firehouse.
Yeah, following like the firefighters or something. Or they're following somebody around, and like something ends up happening in this like apartment building.
And then the reason they continue to film is
To like share everybody what's going on, I think, because like they shut everything down, like no one was getting out of that apartment. They were trying to keep it contained.
which one do you think, Billy, was the one that done it the best?
Oh, fucking Rick. Quarantine fucking sucks.
No, I meant which out of all the movies, which one?
This
had
wasn't
the-
really like a
had the
full
best
movie. It was a segment from a horror anthology. It was from SVHS or VHS2, however you want to call it. It's when that guy was like recording himself while he was like riding his bike through the woods. And he ends up,
Oh, the zombie guy.
yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Yeah, I thought like that's I can understand why it kept filming because it's like it was on his head. He was just on. Like he's not going.
It made less sense.
He was wearing the GoPro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't know because I'm trying to think anything else.
Oh, definitely Diaries of the Dead. Trying to make the movie within the movie because they were all a bunch of fucking film school dropouts.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, to me, I mean, with that movie, I mean, I like the movie and all, but even if you like the entire, like they knew civilization was going, like it was. I mean, I'm surprised that the internet was even still working as it was happening. Um, so it was kind of like there was no, like
It's a
who
series of
were they
keeps.
making it for? You know what I'm saying?
Just to
Well,
say they did it, they completed something.
It's they made it for the government, because they wanted to come out and save them, but really they're just gonna nuke the hell out of everything.
Yeah.
Can't think of anything else like a movie that's like, oh, I understand why it kept rolling.
Well, like I said, the Apollo 18 had like a good point. Like the cameras that were strapped to the astronauts, they were always just taking footage. It was just kind of like how it was, kind of like the GoPro zombie guy. But that movie was just trash. And never explained how I got back to Earth.
Right. So, like, I guess in all the movies, I guess the best reason for the characters to continue filming is they are making a film, correct?
I suppose so. I feel like the best ones were just they were basically attached to the camera and they couldn't turn it off.
Or if, like, maybe, I can't remember if there was any of them that used, like, security cam footage. Well, yeah, I guess that would have been the Paranormal Activity films. Where they think something's happened, so they set up, cameras, and they have security cameras. I'm not defending those movies. I'm just saying that's, they weren't making a movie, but they were trying to catch something.
Actually, you might have stumbled onto like a really good idea, unknowingly. Like have a found footage movie where it's just all security cams, not in the sense of just, having a $70,000 Hollywood camera with the wreck in the corner superimposed, but like an actual, a horror movie taking place in a series of like, security cameras and stuff.
It's just all closed circuit television.
Yeah, like it could almost be like an invasion thing too, because
We're going to have to get that. We'll have to get that copyrighted. No one stole our idea.
Well, they didn't steal Pterodactyl or Spider Tit. I think we're fine.
There was I'm trying to think if it was a found footage movie or not. But I think it was called Operation. Hang on, let me try to find it. It's Operation Avalanche, and it says 1967, 4 undercover CIA agents were sent to NASA posing as a documentary film crew. What they discovered is one of the biggest conspiracies of American history. They think that I think
Oh yeah,
they filmed the
moon landings.
yeah. It was called Operation Avalanche, and it was supposed to be pretty good.
Yeah, that was I actually heard about that a little while ago, but it's not a horror movie or anything. It's more like a conspiracy theory thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so there was I forgot about this one. As like another reason for the character. The movie Creep.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good
in that
reason,
movie, the story is, I guess he thinks he's dying or he has, cancer or whatever. So he's just hiring someone to film his daily life so he can do like a video diary to leave to his son. I think is what it was.
For his unborn son.
Yeah, so I mean that's a pretty good idea there.
Yeah.
What was it?
Creep.
Oh, Creep. Yeah. Sorry, I was blowing my nose.
No, that's all right.
Creep. First two Creeps are good.
I thought after Creep it was Weirdo.
Weirdo. I'm a creep. Even I thought the second one had a good idea too. Have you seen the second one?
I remember watching it. What was his reasoning for her to have the?
That he wants to show that he's a serial killer.
Oh yeah, and she just thought he was like.
Fucking
she didn't think. She thought he wasn't serious about it.
Well, what would you think if like Bill walked up to you one day and was like, "Hey man, I've been killing women for the past 17 years. It's pretty fun." You just be like, "Ha ha, you're funny, Billy.
Yeah.
See you later."
Then you next week I'm on the news. His house was made out of skeletal remains.
Nah.
Yeah, so the paranormal activity movies, they have what? There's like 10 of those, aren't there?
I think
Like
there's
they
like
they
five.
just they
Like,
just kept that going.
yeah, it's like a yearly thing because they make these movies for nothing and they make back tons of money.
Well, especially the first one. First one wasn't too bad. Still not in theaters.
It
And
was
they,
it was a kind of a smart idea, and
yeah.
when they realized they could make this movie for $1 million and it make like 200 or $300 million, then they start printing them like money.
Oh yeah.
It just ruins a lot of stuff, like the movie, kind of making like a whole bunch of them. It's like, first one's good. Now it's just like, yeah, probably never gonna watch it again because there's so much.
Well, it's a movie that's really hard to view multiple times because there's a lot of nothing. Like
Yeah.
people don't remember how much waiting there was in that movie.
It's good though. That's the only one I ever saw. Y'all see any of them? You saw the first?
I believe I saw the second one because
What?
it was no. I guess why not really? I guess it was a prequel, but it was telling the other side of like her sister's story or whatever that was going on. I guess around the same time.
Oh, God, I can't believe there's. You say there's 5 of them?
It's gotta be. There's like four, then there's like they start adding subtitles because the numbers ran out, I guess.
Yeah, you had like Ghost Dimension, the marked
Requiem.
ones.
Then there's like a virtual reality video game one year.
There was Paranormal Activity, the 8, the Revenge, the Bonaducci.
What did you think about if you've seen it, the Chernobyl, the one that took place in Chernobyl?
Oh, Chernobyl Diaries?
Yeah.
That was fine. Like a lot of people trashed it, but it was okay. It's about a bunch of teenagers. Well, I guess they're like late 20s and stuff. It's one of those weird things where they hire like older actors to play like younger people. So you have these balding teenagers, and they go to Chernobyl with their cameras and stuff. And it turns out like the radiations turned like a bunch of feral animals into mutants and stuff, and they kind of have to like survive the night, that kind of thing. It wasn't terrible, but it's like a movie that I'll never watch again. I was just like, okay, it was fine. No feelings hurt.
Hey, I found out what that Japanese movie was. It was called Nori the Curse.
Nori the Curse.
Or no, or not Nori. It's like Nori the Curse or something. It's Noroi and the Curse. Like I think it was made in the '90s, mid-'90s, I think. There's probably like a lot of like found footage movies we haven't even seen yet. Like kind of like the.
We haven't found these found footage movies.
Yeah,
They're
like
still,
these.
they're lost footage films right
Yeah,
Ooh,
like
I like that.
one just like America's Deadliest Home Videos, like that bad.
Actually, you just stumbled onto another idea, Carrie. You're being all kinds of genius. So, lost footage movie. So it's a found footage movie trying to find a found footage movie. It could be like some kind of like snuff film or some kind of satanic thing, or it could be like a movie that if you watch Eat, Die in 7 Days or whatever. So here's the thing: like a bunch of people, they go out to find this movie wherever it is. Like they go to Hollywood, they go to these like the underbelly of California. They find this movie and they watch it, and then like spooky things start to happen. Oh no, did you hear about Terry? You blew his brains out. Why did you do that? I don't know. It's crazy. Oh no, Linda, what's wrong with your hand? Is that some kind of like infection? I don't know.
It's awesome.
Which one do you think had the best ending?
That's rough because most found footage movie endings, even if it's a good movie, the ending's usually trash.
I thought Cloverfield had a pretty good ending.
I guess so. Spoilers.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it.
Because like even like well okay, that's not found footage. I almost said like 10 Cloverfield Lane. That's not found footage.
And
Oh, I'm trying to think. God, sorry, I don't know.
Because I mean, to be honest, most of these found footage movies end with everybody dying. So
Yeah, pretty much. All right, what about what found footage film had like the best death or best kill?
well, Cloverfield, like somebody exploded. Just
Yeah.
straight up.
Oh, that girl, her friend.
Yeah.
That's hard too.
Trying to think, I thought there was a really brutal death in that in Quarantine, but I can't remember. I'm trying to think
Oh
of like
yeah.
somebody fall like down through the like from a couple stories up in the like
Are we thinking about the same thing where they like fell through like the spiral staircase like through the
yeah,
middle?
yeah,
Yeah.
all the way down to the lobby area. I thought that was
Yeah.
pretty good. Because if I remember right, it didn't even kill him like right away. Like they
Mm.
were just laying there like
Oh, that sucks.
twitching.
I don't know.
Well, in the same vein, like in Afflicted, when that policeman got, no, he wasn't thrown, but he fell off the building and he landed all in the same shot, like there were no cuts or anything.
Yeah.
That was a good scene. Like, it was a clever way to shoot that.
I don't know what would be the best. It's hard. Fuck. Probably fuck, I don't know. That is a tough one.
You can't even answer your own question.
Can't. I thought about it, I was like, there's so many good ones. Like I definitely like some of the kills from Afflicted. Like the whole scene with the SWAT people. What about y'all? But both y'all was a quarantine one?
I mean, I guess so. That was pretty neat. That lady exploded in the Cloverfield.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
The VHS movies, VHS and VHS 2, they had some pretty cool deaths in them.
Creep had a real creepy one at the end. He puts
Oh,
that
when you-
axe. Yeah, he puts
Yeah.
that axe just standing there. You didn't know what the fuck was going to happen.
Oh, okay, I got one. It's from a really bad movie, Dire of the Dead. That there was this deaf Amish guy at the farm that they stayed at for a night, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
zombies finally, yeah. Don't act so fucking excited there. So they have to stay the night, and it's kind of like whatever, but like he goes out like a champ, so he defends them against the zombies, and instead of having the zombies jump on like the kids or whatever, he takes the blunt of like this little horde or whatever, and when they like try to wrap around him, he takes his scythe and he just like rams it right through his head into the zombie behind him. That was
like,
pretty badass.
sacrifice himself to.
Yeah,
It was pretty good.
that was pretty slick. I'll give it that.
Pretty
Like
neat.
I would watch a movie just about that that Amish guy.
I
So
think
do
you're
you-
either going to make a movie about him now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So do
Like,
you guys
you know-
consider like the ghost hunter shows on TV? Do you consider that to be like found footage?
No, I consider that trash.
Okay.
Like that's all a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, for real.
You got Zach Braggins or whatever that guy's name is. Zach
Oh.
Bonaducci.
Well, he did that one, not the TV show, but like because I guess they done like movies or whatever. But the last one they had I think it was called Devil House. It was actually pretty good.
Is that the live one?
No, this was more like a documentary. It wasn't it
Oh.
wasn't the TV show. It was called Devil House, and it was actually pretty good. I watched it on Prime.
Devil House LLC.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? There's a movie that I was going to pick for my found footage February, but I decided against it because I mean it's half found footage and half of it's not. Like, was it Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie Vernon? I remember that one.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I've never watched
Oh, have
it.
you never seen it?
No.
It's pretty good. Has Robert Englund in it. It's good.
That poor man.
Poor man. But yeah, it's like half found footage, like a documentary who's like following him, and then it goes to real time, and yeah, so that's why I didn't pick because it was not just found footage, it was both.
So it's just like half found footage and other half just footage.
Yeah. Like, but it was like I can't remember if it was more found footage or more footage. I can't remember. I haven't seen it in a while.
What was the last like kind of big found footage that came out in theaters that was put out by a studio?
Probably one of the Paranormal Activity movies.
What was that?
The Visit wasn't the
Friend
Visit.
Request. Was that
Oh
Oh
no,
yeah,
you're
friend
thinking about this
request,
Unfriended.
unfriended. Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah,
what
and
a
then
horse
unfriended the dark
shit.
web was
yeah.
the other one. And I
Can't
think there was
believe
a,
it.
there was a third one that had the guy from he done those comedy movies. I think it was Harold Kumar or something. But didn't he do one where he was looking for his
Oh,
daughter and
Yeah,
it was all on the internet?
it's called
yeah,
Searching.
that wasn't a horror movie though. That was
Yeah,
just
I've heard that was really good.
yeah. Apparently that was actually well done.
So it's been a couple of years for those, right? Since those came out. Like we haven't had one recently.
I think
I
the
don't think
Searching
so.
one was last year.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say, like, do you think that that genre is pretty much over now, or do you think it's going to continue to be just sort of like low budget films, like because they're so cheap and easy to make?
I mean, it's the kind of thing where you'll probably find some, diamonds in the rough that make their way to the silver screen.
Yeah.
Well, either that or Netflix, because
Hey, y'all
Or
remember that?
Shudder. I guess Shudder is going to start doing producing their own films too. So
Y'all remember that shitty found footage film, The Gallows?
I remember. Well, I've never seen it, but I remember
I
like
saw
the
some
trailer.
of it. It was fucking awful.
sounds kind of familiar.
I remember watching the trailer and said like considered one of the scariest movies ever made.
Oh man,
I
even
mean-
the fucking Evil Dead remake poster had that written all over it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say there's a lot I haven't seen. I've never seen the As Above, So Below.
Oh, it takes place in Paris.
Yeah.
I remember the art for that looking pretty neat. And then I realized, wait, that looks too neat. Uh-oh, what are they trying to hide?
Yeah, I mean, I've heard mixed things about that. I mean, I'll probably never watch it, but I mean, unless we get to do it for our podcast.
Right.
So next week we have As Below, whatever.
Ass below.
That's the porno version.
There was one that I seen. It was called Devil's Pass, and I think what made it intriguing to me is that it was based on something that supposedly really happened, or no, something that really happened, but there's a mystery on what really happened. So like these, like back in the 50s or whatever, some Russians were hiking, out somewhere in Russia, and and they end up they go missing or whatever. And when they finally find their last place that they camped, like the tent was tore open, and of course they whenever they looked at it, they said you could tell it was torn open from the inside, so someone was trying to escape out of the tent. And everybody that they found was only wearing like their underwear, and of course it's like below zero where they were at, so there was like no reason that they shouldn't shouldn't
Oh,
have
I
had
think
clothes on.
I have like a vague memory of hearing about
And like
that.
yeah, and I think one of the people they found was had climbed up a tree to like get away from whatever it was, and they were all like they found them all froze to death. So that right there was like something that's really happened, like, and that like I said, there's a mystery around it. But then they made a movie called Devil's Pass, which was about people going to investigate what happened, kind of retrace their steps. But then the ending of the Devil's Pass was just they took it too far. I want to say they found some kind of like military base where they were doing testing on people. It could have been a lot better from what they done.
Hmm.
But just
Sounds
the
like a
fact
whole-
just the fact that it was based on a true event.
Yeah, I got it right
that-
here. It says in 1959 there were 9 Russian mountain hikers found dead. Their skulls were crushed, and one of them was missing his tongue. Yet all their clothes were highly radioactive.
I feel like they just didn't know how to party.
Yeah, but like I said, just the fact it was based on something that, like a true event kind of intrigued me. But then I watched it and I was like, why did they have to add all this to the end to try to make it more than what it was?
That's pretty crazy, though. There's some crazy shit that happened. I mean, Russia is probably like the Hills Have Eyes type shit.
Oh yeah. Well, I hear that they're gonna turn that sleep study stuff into a movie. You guys heard about that?
Oh, yeah, I seen
What?
something about that.
Well, apparently, I think it's either Russian or German. I'll say Russian. They kept a bunch of people in a room and kept them sleep deprived for like weeks, and they gradually just lost their sanity and turned into savage animals and stuff like that.
Hey, they have the pictures of those Russian people. It's gnarly.
Yeah, I watched like a documentary about that.
It's like this
Yeah,
one's
the
missing his eyes.
It was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I'm sure he
Definitely check
found
it out.
Well, that kind of reminded me of the actual true story too about their tongues missing and stuff. There's this movie they're supposed to make called The Bloody Benders or something like that. Or no, it's not The Bloody Benders. It's that's a movie coming out. It's supposed to be based on like a true family that owned a hotel or like out during the West that would kill their visitors or something. But this
The
was
Bloody Bender sounds like some horrible
yeah,
bathroom code.
the Bloody Benders. Yeah. What was it? It was in Ireland years ago, or 100 years ago, whatever. This family, they were like basically like the real people from Hills Have Eyes. They lived in a cave. They were all incest, and they killed over 300 people, 300 travelers. And finally, like an army or like over 50 men or whatever went and hunting for them and found them and slaughtered the whole family. And he lived in a cave. There was like people's skulls and like it was, basically the real life Hills Have Eyes. It took place in Ireland.
And speaking of Ireland, our podcast is sponsored by Heineken. And
yeah, shout out to our listeners in Ireland.
Yeah.
The Last Exorcism, I thought that was a pretty good one too.
Last Exorcism.
Where that it was about that he was like the guy was a priest, and I guess he'd done exorcisms, but I want to say he like faked a lot of it just because he knew it would, because I guess he knew that they really weren't possessed, so he would just go in and do like theatrics to like I guess if kind of like if they think that he actually done something, then they'll stop or whatever. So then he has this is his last one he's going to do, but this chick's really like possessed. It was pretty good.
Mm.
Sounds familiar. I don't remember if I've seen it.
Sounds like a boner killer. He has this like really good thing going on. And he's just like, oh yeah, I got all this money for just faking all this shit, and he winds up running to the real thing. He's like, oh shit.
I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess, there hasn't been a lot of found footage. Like I said, the last movie I could think of is Friend Request or Unfriended or whatever. It's just like the dumbest fucking premise ever for a fucking movie. Like, no one's going to keep me from, like, getting off the fucking computer. Like, fuck you. So dumb.
Yeah, I've never even seen those movies, so.
I feel like they're really bare bones when it comes to like just any kind of idea. It's almost like a hostage movie because it's like, hey, if you log off, one of your friends will die. Whoop-de-doo.
Like, oh yeah, I hope it's the one I at least like. You log off. Click.
Nice. It's kind of like the thing, like you press a button, you get $1 million, but also like someone you know will die.
Yeah.
Well, risk I'm gonna take.
I'm just saying I know a bunch of people, so we can just whittle this down.
What year did found footage start getting big? It was like years after Blair Witch. It was like probably when Cloverfield came out. You think that's what really like?
It was definitely a restart.
Yeah, because I don't think. Well, I think after the Blair Witch Project, because that was in '99.
Yeah, and then
I want to say that the next one. I guess the next one would have been the Paranormal Activity, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, 2007. Yeah, it was 2007, and then Cloverfield was 2008. So I think it was the Paranormal Activity that re-sparked the people's interest in it.
Hollywood just knows how to like kill something. Oh, this movie was really good. Let's fucking run it to the ground.
It's like a safe bet though. It's like perfect business decision. If you made something that makes 10 times the money back. Let's do it again for less and see if it'll make more. So
It's like now I think what's going to spark is like creepy kid movies. Ever since fucking the Babadook, or if you want to even think Hereditary, because you got these movies like The Hole in the Ground.
The Prodigy.
Yeah, The Prodigy. I'm sure there's numerous ones coming out. I'm sure.
they'll probably redo The Omen again for no reason.
Yeah. Which I know they're already remaking. They're supposed to remake. I can't remember what it was. One of these. Are they remaking the Babadook? Maybe.
What, already?
It's been like 2 years.
Might have been one of them. Yeah, I think it might be the Babadook.
I completely forgot about this movie, and I actually have it. Like, I own it. The Fourth Kind. Do you guys ever see that one?
Mm-mm.
With Mila Jovovich.
Nope.
No.
She's like a psychiatrist, and one of her patients is telling her about him being abducted, and so it's basically just the tapes of his sessions and stuff. It was really good.
Mm. Well, as soon as you say that Mila Jovovich was in it, I was like, was this a Paul W.S. Anderson movie? Because
Oh yeah.
No,
the only thing keeping her going.
Yeah, he's the only one giving her a paycheck.
It's not all he's giving her.
Man, she used to be a model, then she did The Fifth Element.
Man, Fifth Element was really good. Kind of want to talk about the Fifth Element.
But
You know, Luc Besson.
See, I think that the Purge movie would have worked really good as a found footage.
how so?
Well, because you could have the like we talked about before, security cameras of like the people's houses, or if you're just going to do instead of being set in one house, if you were showing it out in the streets, you could have all the security cameras, or just people filming it.
Yeah.
I guess so.
It'd be a good premise for a found footage movie. If this guy had like a camera lodged into his stomach, and if he gets it removed, he will die. And it films all the time.
That's not even a horror movie then. It'd just be like him eating breakfast.
Yeah.
You just gotta chill with the camera now. So it basically turned into like a really shitty Truman Show.
Yeah. Hey, let's do it. Let's make it. That's the tagline. A real shitty Truman Show.
Or it'd be like, wasn't there like a Matthew McConaughey movie like that?
Oh yeah,
Some Stan TV or something.
something like
Yeah,
that.
something like that.
Ed TV.
Yeah, Ed TV.
Matthew McConaughey. He has a career, but like in the 90s, he like 90s and half 2000s. I think the movie that he made skyrocketed him was Dallas Buyers Club. Like, ever
What?
since then,
He
What?
was doing stuff. He was doing
Yeah,
stuff
I
way
mean,
before that.
that made him like a bigger star than he was, because he was in movies, but he was in a lot of shitty fucking movies.
Oh no, I think it's before that.
Yeah, he
before
was.
shot Superstardom.
I think his big first one was
Contact.
no, the one with him and Samuel Jackson where he played the lawyer.
Lincoln Lawyer.
No, it was
Mississippi Burn.
no. I'm going to look it up now because I can't.
Played a lawyer. Samuel L. Jackson. Snakes on a Plane.
Yeah, that's what it was. Thanks on a plane.
Matthew
Was
McConaughey
it-
was the plane.
Was it Tropic Thunder?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was in that. Shout out to Tom Cruise at the end of that movie.
No, I mean, he was a star. But I'm saying, like, after he won that Oscar from Dallas Buyers Club, he went from there, and then he did like True Detective season 1, which
Time
is
to Kill is what it was called.
Mm.
I mean, that was in '96. I think that was what got him
Ah.
out there.
I mean, I know. I mean, that's what got him out there, but like he was never really known. I mean, not in my opinion, like A-list. He was like kind of a B-list guy because he never really did really good movies. He just did like these romantic comedies and shit like that. And then he did Dallas Buyers Club, won him an Oscar, and then he did True Detective Season 1, which is one of the best show. Well, like it's one of the best things I've ever seen on TV. True Detective Season 1.
You got to remember he was he also was in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation.
Oh yeah,
It's true.
So that was probably his greatest work right there.
Great. I bet you he doesn't remember filming it.
He probably doesn't want to remember.
There was like he was on some kind of comedy show or whatever, and they were like talking about it, or he was talking about it or something, or promoting it as a joke or something. It was funny. He's like, you know me, Matthew McConaughey, I was in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3 or something. Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Yeah, because like him and Renee Zellweger, they're both in it. And of course, I guess when they were done filming it, I guess they started doing other things so their agents put a stop to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre being released because they didn't want to
Tarnish
they didn't want to be tarnished. So that's why
I
came
feel
out, later.
It was probably just shelved until they made a name for themselves. It's like, oh, they're famous, and we have this movie in the can. Kind of like Cabin in the Woods.
Right.
And it was kind of just like collecting dust until like the Avengers happened.
Oh yeah, it was made in 2008 and it didn't get released till 2012.
Yeah, because suddenly Joss Whedon directed Avengers, and you had Chris Hemsworth or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He's Thor, so you got these now big names in this movie just sitting that could make money. Luckily, that movie was actually really nice.
Oh, yeah, it was. I saw it in theaters, and like I was hyped up for that movie, and I was not let down.
That's why I say the best Evil Dead remake in order is Cabin in the Woods number 1, Evil Dead 2 at number 2, and then like the just the one without the in it.
Evil Dead.
I like the remake.
I just think they should have just ran with the actual title, not put Evil Dead on it.
Oh, Within the Woods.
Yeah, just like the only reason why they changed it is just for brand recognition, which is just fucking lazy.
I'm just surprised, or not surprised. I'm just relieved Evil Dead never went down that found footage route. Like a remake or something. That'd be so stupid.
There's probably like a Record Dead somewhere. That's a pun.
Yeah. Yeah, we could probably do like a found audio like podcast.
People talking.
Yeah.
1930s.
And it's just all audio.
It's like, oh, we found this footage from the 1930s. Turns out it was just the Hindenburg.
We have audio of Charlie Chaplin getting a hand job.
Oh my God, Tim Buss is just like.
It has that music, or fucking old timey music. Yeah, here. No, but that the reason why I got that idea is I don't know why I made me think of it.
Please tell me.
Grandma's boy. Remember, she's like, he's like, you're so old. She's like, yeah, I gave Charlie Chaplin a hand job once. Y'all remember that on Grandma's Boy?
I remember the movie, but I don't remember that part.
Oh, yeah, it was when Nick Swartzman's like, he had sex with, he's like, oh my God, you're so old. She's like, I once gave Charlie Chaplin a hand job.
Only thing I remember from the movie is that I thought that nerd in the leather jacket was Adam Driver.
Did anybody? I know it's not a horror movie, but did any of you watch Chronicle, which was like a found footage superhero movie?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. But then he ruined his career after, or not Chronicle did, but his second movie ruined his career, I believe.
It was what's his name? Son. Did all those famous movies like Blues Brothers, right? Fuck. He was on
John Landis.
yeah. He's a shit. He was on fucking
Oh
Best of
yeah,
the Worst. and
yeah,
everything.
Max Landis.
Yeah, Max Landis.
He is so.
Yeah, because
can't
I guess his
stand him.
second was Bright, his second film after
No.
Chronicle.
He did American
Was it-
Ultra. He
I
did,
thought
like-
American Ultra was pretty good.
He did like another like a romantic comedy. No, but he was a person I've like heard him in interviews and like I used to follow him on Twitter. I just think he is like the most hipster, pretentious motherfucker I've ever seen.
You have to separate the man from the art, okay?
Yeah.
I think the only good movie he ever did was Chronicle. I didn't really like American Ultra, and I like that fight scene, that one take. That's it. But
Oh, yeah, at the end, the
yeah,
shovel.
um,
He's gonna redo American Werewolf in London,
That's what I've heard.
so that movie does good.
and just like how Jason Reitman's gonna do Ghostbusters 3.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a trend now. The children of big directors are gonna like remake their parents' movies.
Mm.
I thought Chronicle was good, but that director who directed Chronicle, he has no career now. I'm pretty sure he did the Fantastic Four movie, the last
Oh,
one,
Fanforstic.
and it like ruined him. I think because apparently it fucking bombed.
Well, first of all, it was trash.
Yeah, and I
Secondly,
think
it
he-
bombed, and
Yeah, I was
also
gonna say,
he
I think the
became a
original
raging
director-
alcoholic.
Yeah, he
Go ahead.
dropped. I think he dropped out, and someone else had to finish it because he was so. He didn't care for what they were doing, right? And he left.
Yeah, it was apparently the studio it's a Fox Marvel joint at the time.
Yeah.
So the studio had so many hands in the pot that he became a raging alcoholic during the production of that movie. Like he just couldn't handle it. Like he had no control over this movie that was supposedly his.
Yeah, I haven't heard from him since. His
He's
name
dead.
Was his name was like Josh Trank or Trunk or something like that.
So, I guess we'll go ahead and finish up here. Billy, where can they find you at?
They can find me at Bath Salt Wizard at Twitter.
And Eric?
You can find me at Eric Voltage or my other podcast, Beers Brews Cast.
And you can find me on Twitter at 1313 Inc. And also, I would like to give a shout out to Crystal, who was supposed to be on here with us, but some scheduling conflicts got in the way. She has her own podcast, Horror Nights and Podcast is what it's called, and you can find her on Twitter at Horror Daddies R Us. She's on iTunes and SoundCloud, so definitely go over and give her a listen. Like I said, she was supposed to be on here. We couldn't make it happen, but I plan on having her on a future episode.
I think we just went like a whole hour episode without mentioning Roger Corman.
Roger
I
Corman.
know. There you go. There's your Roger Corman.
Man, fuck that dude in the background.
All right, yeah, so don't forget, you can find all our information at 1313inc.wordpress.com. You can find us on Twitter, on Facebook, Instagram, and we will do this again next week.
Thank you for listening.
See you. This podcast is part of the 1313 Inc. network.